In 1995, Rebecca Lobo led UConn to a perfect 35-0 season and the Huskies' first national championship. As we move to the new millennium, UConn is poised to make another run. With All-American Svetlana Abramova at the helm, the Huskies currently ranked first in the nation. For Oklahoma, it's Coach Sherry Cole's task to figure out how to beat UConn. And a great place to start is with All-American candidate Felicia Whaley. Whaley leads a vastly improved Sooner squad. UConn and OU next.
Welcome to the campus of the University of Oklahoma. The library is shut down during the holidays, but not the same for the Lloyd Noble Center. A big crowd arriving as #1 ranked Connecticut's in town. The Huskies 8-0. Oklahoma arrives at 9-2. Hi everyone, I'm Bill Land along with Alyssa Walker-Campbell. Glad to have you aboard. And Oklahoma, a big task tonight, not only facing the nation's top-ranked team, but maybe the nation's best player in Svetlana Abramova.
Svetlana Abramova is the true prototype of the international player. She can shoot the three. She's got great offensive skills, but is really recognized for her defensive skills as she led her team in steals and assists last year. It's no surprise she's already being scouted by the WNBA.
Oklahoma will have to use a lot of weapons, and they've got them now. Certainly an interesting combo to keep your eye on tonight. Super soft Stacey Dales to set up their leading scorer, Felicia Whaley.
A great inside-outside matchup. Stacey Dales can thread the needle. She knows how to pass the basketball, kind of like Magic Johnson. Of course, when you talk about Felicia Whaley at 5'10", an undersized post player, she better have her hands ready because Stacey's going to be passing it to her.
No question, Oklahoma's got its hands full. UConn has been rolling. The Sooners are poised for the upset tonight here at the Lloyd Noble Center. Women's college basketball coming up on Fox Sports Net.
Back at the Lloyd Noble Center, Connecticut and UConn about ready to tip off here tonight. Bill Land, Alyssa Walker-Campbell with you. And you talked to Oklahoma coach Sherry Cole. She said the scouting report is not a difficult one to understand on UConn, but it's difficult to execute. This team gets up and down the floor.
Connecticut's a team that averages over 90 points per game, where they get a majority of their points, as you see right there, super and bringing it up in transition. They love to take it inside to none other than Svetlana Abramova. Here you see them against UCLA, where Svetlana had 19 points. Who she handed off to? None other than Shea Ralph. You're going to hear a lot about her tonight. Here's another player you're going to hear a lot about. Stacey Dales heading off to Desiree Taylor. She's got to have a big-time performance. Right back to Lanisha Caulfield.
Stacey Dales, also a scorer, averaging in double figures, not just a passer by any means. Let's take a look at the starting lineups here for these two teams. First of all, for the visitors from Storrs, Connecticut, Sue Bird, Shea Ralph, Paige Sauer, Abramova, and Hansmeyer. Hansmeyer and Sauer are both Oklahoma City area products. And in fact, Hansmeyer played for Sherry Cole at Norman High School. And for Oklahoma, Hardeman Caulfield, Stacey Dales, Kaden Hill, and Felicia Whaley, as always, for the Sooners. And Gino Orima, and Gino is a guy that, boy, you just put winning next to his name because he has just about done it all in college basketball. And on the other side, Sherry Cole, 37-57 in her fourth year. She came here out of Norman High School, where in 7 years won 147 games. In her last 4, won 101 in 2 state championships. She's taken this team from 5-22 to 8-19, 15-14, and now to a 9-2 start.
And of course, you have to remember last year they advanced to the WNIT, the second round, and played against Arkansas. Oklahoma doing a great job of turning this program around.
And of course, concerned a little bit about how his team will react with Oklahoma. Even though a good team, they've been playing such a powerhouse schedule. But I think with the big crowd here tonight and the local players coming back home, he shouldn't have any problem with his team being up for this one.
Well, talking with Gino Oriema, he's very concerned about the emotion of this game. Now, he knows his players, Paige Sauer and Stacey Hansmeyer, being native Oklahomans, they're going to be geared up. But he also knows Oklahoma's going to be playing with a lot of adrenaline tonight.
And Sauer steps out and hits the jumper. She's from Midwest City here in the Oklahoma City suburbs, and a senior, 6'5", and shows her versatility as she hit the jumper from near the top of the key.
Here you see Connecticut, they'll come out, they'll do a number of things defensively. They love to play some 2-3. They'll also match up man-to-man. Great matchup there with Felicia Whaley and Paige Sauer.
Stacey Dales with the basketball, 3 on the shot clock. She puts it up, won't go. Rebound comes off to the Sooners, though. Hardiman, and she has become a great addition as she's been starting lately for this club and been a stabilizer for the team. And a foul is called on Shea Ralph. Ralph, we didn't talk much about her yet. All she is, leading scorer in the club at 17 a game.
Not only does she lead the club, but also leads it in field goal percentage. Shoots over 60% from the floor. But you know, she doesn't get a majority of her shots from three-point range. She gets them in that transition game that we've been talking about.
Oklahoma down 2-0. Looks a little jittery, as might be expected, with a big crowd on hand and the #1 ranked UConn here. But this is a game that certainly that most people point for when you've got the nation's #1 team in town. And Dales nails the three. Stacey Dales, 31% from three-point range and averaging 11 points per contest.
Stacey Dale's not playing intimidated whatsoever. She gained a tremendous amount of experience this past summer playing in the Pan Am games for the Canadian team.
Sauer's got the first 2 buckets for UConn, and the lead changes again, 4-3 Huskies.
Hey, this is a special game for Paige Sauer. Homecoming from her. She's from Midwest City, Oklahoma.
Dales looks inside and goes that way to Hill. Hill, the double team, back to Dales, and will not roll. The rebound comes off to UConn, grabbing it on Rasimova. And here comes the transition. The Sooners know they need to get back. Ralph sets up for the 3 and nails it.
And that's not the person that you want to allow her to get the open looks at the basket. Shea Ralph, she's known for her ability to penetrate, but she can also hit it from outside. She's very consistent from 17 feet.
33% three-point shooter. Dales to Whaley, and Whaley hits the 15-footer, and Oklahoma back within a pair as Felicia Whaley gets her first bucket of the night. Whaley averaging 18+ a game, 4th in the Big 12.
Both of these teams just going back and forth, seesawing, just exchanging buckets. But this is not the kind of game that Connecticut wants to play. They don't want to come down and run 15 seconds off the clock. They love the transition game. It's kind of a curse word when they got to come down and make 4 or 5 passes.
And the 3-second call in the lane called against the Huskies as Sherry Cole strolls the sidelines. And the Sooners bring it up with Stacey Dales. Oklahoma coming off an 84-39 victory over San Diego. UConn blew out UCLA 106-64. Unbelievable.
And what's amazing about that is Maylana Martin, one of the top players in the country. She was playing Erica Gomez, and as you said, Bill, blew out UCLA by 42 points.
Caulfield hits the follow, and we've got a tie game at 7, 16:58 to go.
Great job at defending the post. Felicia Whaley getting in front and deflecting the pass.
Dales nearly lost it, flicks it inside off the hands of Hill, and it's stolen by the Huskies. There's the lead pass. Abrasimova will have to earn it, though, as Caulfield fouls her, and Svetlana will go to the free throw line with the game tied at 7 and 16:41 to go.
It's so important that against Connecticut that you've got to be able to defend the 3. Here you see Shea Ralph. She's going to be just trying to set herself up for a 3-point shot. Very important for Oklahoma to get down in transition, get a hand in the face. There you see Felicia Whaley. Actually, that's Lanisha Caulfield, but it was too late.
And at the line, Rasimova averaging 13 points a game, leads them in rebounding at 8 a game, a 56% free throw shooter. That's about the only area of her game that is not up to snuff. And a couple of substitutions as the 2 Oklahomans get a breather. Hansmeyer and Sauer come out for UConn.
And there you see on the graphic, she scored over 1,200 points. She broke the 1,000-point mark faster than any other Husky player.
Junior from St. Petersburg, Russia. Down low, the shot won't go, and the rebound comes off to Hardiman. After the miss that time from Caulfield. Caulfield averaging 13 a game. Very versatile player, really attacks the basket. Dales with it here. Stepping out, Whaley can't hit the 3, and the rebound off, and the foul is called against Oklahoma.
And that's really a good shot for Felicia Whaley. When she first arrived at Oklahoma, she didn't have that offensive threat where she could come out from 3-point range, but she's really increased her range and also was doing a much better job of shooting off the dribble in transition and getting off that jump shot.
Whaley last year, 36% from behind the arc. This year at 33. She is a legitimate threat there. Boy, what a way she has come from her freshman year here. And even though she's been the leading scorer every year. Ralph, no call called, or no whistle. And here's Ralph again. OU trying to get the charge. The rebound to Abrasimova.
Oklahoma can't get distracted, though. They've got to remember that once that shot goes up, you got to get a body on somebody and box out.
Sue Bird the miss, and then the foul on the rebound is called on Shea Ralph. And that looked to be maybe less of a foul than the previous two non-calls. Let's take a brief timeout. 9-7 Huskies on top. UConn by a pair over Oklahoma in the early going. Well, you may have already noticed that Oklahoma's two leaders, Whaley and Dales, couldn't be more different in style and personality. But Coach Sherry Cole explains, put them together, you've got great team chemistry.
Their leadership together has been a wonderful complement. Where Felicia is maybe slow and steady and maybe not as outspoken or as gregarious as Stacy may be, then Stacy has the fire and the passion and the enthusiasm on the other side of that. And they've just been a wonderful complement to each other, and their leadership has been a huge blessing to our program.
Whaley, of course, the small-town West Texan, and Dales from Canada, and having the national team experience and certainly a little bit more swagger, but both great players in their own right. And a good mix here for Oklahoma. Here's Whaley with the basketball, 12 on the shot clock. In the backcourt with 15-20 to go. Deflected by Connecticut, though. 7 on the shot clock. And Caulfield had to get it up. Won't fall. Rebound comes off to UConn.
Connecticut very physical inside. They're not going to allow any easy looks down low. They're really going to protect the paint.
Abrasimova, great pass. Asia Jones comes off the bench tonight, gets the jumper to go, and it's 11-7 Huskies. Asia Jones comes in averaging 8 points, 4.9 boards a game. UConn is putting up 91 points a night and limiting the opponents to just 61. Dales on the drive. And the foul on the Huskies. She saw the opening and no hesitation. This one will be whistled on Swin Cash.
And a great game plan by Oklahoma. They're not going to take a backseat to anybody. They're going to attack the basket, try to draw the foul, even if you miss the easy high percentage shot. Stacey Dales, a great free throw shooter at 72%.
Dales gets this one to fall. Average 11 a game last year. Alyssa mentioned the summer experience in the Pan Am Games with the Canadian national team, and Sherry Cole said really did put the confidence back in her game, and you might expect from a freshman, no matter how talented, inconsistent sometimes last year. This year, just a lot more confident player.
Well, she had a lot of pressure on her last year. She's never played point guard before, coming in as a freshman, playing Division I ball, also coming off of that knee injury. But Sherry Cole went up and said she's going to go out on a limb and says Stacey Dales could be one of the premier guards in the country.
Inside, Dale's got a hand on it, knocked away and stolen by the Sooners. Caulfield. Anisha Caulfield, sophomore from Ada. Here's Dales. Mentioned that knee injury. She got hurt in her first game here at OU, like 10 minutes into the game, and was out for the year with a red shirt. Out for the season, I should say, with the red shirt, but boy, she has come on strong since. Caulfield. And the block. Dinner being served by the Huskies inside, and then the ensuing scramble for the ball, and a foul will be called against Oklahoma. Whaley, I believe. And it's going to be on Hill, her first.
There you see Lanisha Caulfield going over two defenders. You've got to be very deliberate and try to slice the defenders, get between the two bodies. You might be able to draw a foul.
Gino Auriemma, 15th year, 365 victories, and become good friends with Sherry Cole through the recruiting process when Cole was the head high school coach at Norman High School and Hansmeyer was there. The jumper and the three-point is good. And there's UConn. About the time you think you got them under control, they hit the three. Bird this time to make it 14-8.
This is an important possession here for Oklahoma. They need to try to score. I'm saying swing the basketball, make that defense, make that zone shift.
Hardiman can't hit the tray.
Great inside position by Felicia Whaley.
Follow taken away, and the jump ball is called on the tie-up as she was fighting with Jones in there. 13:37 to go, and the Huskies, talk about hammering people. Look at that, 55% from the floor, rebounding, blocks, and the three-point shooting.
Look what they do to their opponents from the three-point range. It only allows 29%.
And that includes wins over not just UCLA, but Old Dominion, Illinois, Penn State, blowouts in almost every case. Hardiman gets the outlet pass. Sooners down by 6. Dales, and her teammates still are not ready all the time for her passes.
You've got to have your hands up and ready, especially on the fast break situation. Stacey Dales is so deceptive. As I said, she can thread the needle ever so quickly and just give the quick handoff.
Sherry Cole with the defense called. Sooners down 14-8 to the Huskies. But the pace is certainly not what UConn would like, as Oklahoma has made the Huskies work inside. The duck under won't go, and the rebound knocked back out. The follow-up, Johnson with a miss. Kenitra Johnson, a freshman from New Albany, Indiana, averages 10.5 a game. And the steal by Johnson as she brings it forward for UConn.
And those are major no-nos. Sunny Hardiman, you just can't give the basketball away like that. She worked so hard on the defensive end to come up with the rebound.
So many weapons. Johnson, a 55% shooter, drains the jumper. She shoots 54 from three-point range.
But when you talk about this Connecticut team, everybody, I mean, they are so deep. They can go 9, 10 players. Everybody on this roster was a high school All-American. They could be starting for any Division I program.
Foul is called.
Stacey Dales cannot go for the fake there. She's got to get a hand in the face, not leave her feet, and then get a body on somebody and move them out. Can't go under. They'll call the foul.
Oklahoma inbounds. Team fouls now on UConn. 4, 3 against the Sooners. In the corner, the jumper won't go for Hardiman, and Sunny has been hitting 41% from behind the line. But Oklahoma, a little chilly here in the early going. And Hill now with 2 personal fouls, and she'll get a breather from Coach Cole as coming in to replace her, Jadra Seeley, a freshman that has really opened some eyes of some Sooner fans from Bethel, Oklahoma, averaging 9.5 points a game and coming off her best effort with 18 in the win over San Diego.
There was not enough praise that Sherry Cole could say about her. She said, you will love to watch her play. She's a pure shooter, has a tremendous shot. In fact, scored over 2,000 points in high school.
Bird with it for the Huskies. In the lane again. So the 3-second call on Connecticut. And a timeout is called. But UConn, a comfortable 8-point lead, 11:57 to go in the first half. UConn by 8 over Oklahoma, 11:57 to go first half. Bill Land, Alyssa Walker-Campbell with you here in Norman, Oklahoma. And UConn, as expected, shooting well. They are 6 of 12 from the floor. Oklahoma just 3 of 13, and this is a Sooner team that has shot 50-plus in 8 games this year. They only did that 12 times all of last season, but the defensive competition of Gino Orma is a little bit different tonight.
Well, this is a much bigger team than Oklahoma. They're so gifted physically and very intimidating. Oklahoma, I still think, needs to continue to attack the basket. They have to get to the free throw line if they want to try to come away with a W.
And Oriema knows that the bullseye is on UConn every time they go. It's the game of the year for every opponent, particularly your non-conference teams like Oklahoma.
But they're gearing up for a big-time game on Sunday as they take on the number 3 team in the country in Louisiana Tech, and their schedule after that doesn't get that much easier. They don't get to breathe too long. Georgetown, Tennessee on national TV. That's going to be tough.
Rosamova missing the 3. OU scrambling with the rebound. And Sooners with 15 on the shot clock, looking low to Seeley. Her save, nope, out of bounds, and Oklahoma turns it over. They've been averaging 18 turnovers a game, forcing 20, and they've turned it over 5 times here in the early going tonight.
Also, after visiting with head coach Sherry Cole, she said, it's so important when our team steps out on the floor, they're not in awe of Connecticut, that they feel that they really can come out here tonight and that can compete and also can come away with a W. They're trying to break into the top 25. This is a program that's trying to gain some respect and move up.
Bird to Ralph. Back out Sue Bird. Pretty shot. She got the 3. And Connecticut slowly building that lead, and now in double digits by 11.
And Connecticut getting a lot of shots from the perimeter. Oklahoma is slowing them down, not allowing the transition, but you can't allow them the open looks from outside.
Here's Hardiman, the junior from here in Norman, running the show right now as Dale's getting a breather. Desiree Taylor's in the lineup for the first time tonight for the Sooners. And inside, the foul is called against Oklahoma's Whaley. And they'll get it back for Connecticut here. More women's basketball coming up. Most of you will see Sunday, number 6 Texas Tech against number 14 Iowa State. A dandy to start off the Big 12. That's 1 o'clock Eastern. And many of you will catch Colorado and Stanford, 4 o'clock Eastern in the Big 12 Pac-10 matchup.
Looking so forward to that matchup. Marcia Sharp, what a tremendous job she's done this year. Really thought this would be a transition year for them after losing 4 of their starters.
They have come out smoking. Inside, UConn. Ralph can't get it, but great job on the backboards, and the follow-up is good for Kelly Schumacher, a junior, a Canadian, averaging nearly 5 points, 3.5 boards a game, and does her job there. And now UConn shows a little press. Sealy, the baseline jumper. And that breaks a bit of a drought for Oklahoma.
J.J. Sealy making up for what she did on the defensive end. She forgot to block out, but comes down and gets the deuce.
Stops a 10-0 run on the part of the Huskies. Jumper from outside, good again. And Oklahoman's Stacey Hansmeyer, who 3 of 5 in three-point shooting for the year, but she hit both of her trays against UCLA in the last game. And a hot hand carries over tonight.
And she really had an unbelievable game versus UCLA. 17 points. As you said, 6 for 6.
Ralph draws the foul, goes to the line. Let's go back to Oklahoma on the defensive end.
See here, they're going to go inside to Svetlana Ambrosimova. Here, Svetlana misses the shot, but JJ down here, she's going to forget to block out. Nice pass, dump down inside to Stacey Hansmeyer. Look who's getting the offensive board.
Now Ralph at the free throw line after that bucket by Schumacher, and Ralph is over as subs coming in for UConn. Hansmeyer comes out again, and Connecticut with so much talent, and you mentioned the All-America lineup that sits over there. They play a lot of folks, and only one player playing 30 minutes a game, and that is Bird. UConn with 8 different scores here already tonight. Sealy. Nice feed from Dales. .853 to go, first half. .10 on the shot clock. Johnson with the ball against Sealy. The feed on the baseline. Whaley nearly had the pickoff. 4 on the shot clock for UConn on the inbounds play.
And Svetlana Ambrosimova, that's not the person she wants to get hit in the face with the ball. She had broke her nose earlier this year. Might be still a little tender.
And the steal on the inbounds by Dales. 6 turnovers for UConn. Stacey brings it across. This OU crowd trying to get this team going, but UConn can take a crowd out of it in a hurry. The deflection by Abrasimova, and the steal inside comes from Sauer.
UConn totally taking Oklahoma out of its offense. Oklahoma forced to try to run their offense from way outside. They're not even getting a good look at the basket.
The pass from Abrasimova deflected off the basket, and then by the time Swin Cash picked it up, she was out of bounds, and the Sooners get it back, down 14. Oriema, look on his face, a bit puzzled.
Gino and I had a good talk today. You know, this is a team that's really on a mission after suffering a bitter defeat versus Big 12 Conference standout Iowa State. Of course, they ousted Connecticut from only went to the Sweet 16. Iowa State advances to the Elite Eight.
The alley-oop to Stacey Dales. And she can supply energy to this team.
And that'll get this crowd right back into this game behind Oklahoma.
Well, and Alyssa mentioned that UConn eliminated last year in the tournament by Iowa State of the Big 12, so you're not going to have any lack of respect for Oklahoma coming from the same league. And Shea Ralph from way outside with a big-time three, and it's now 29-14. Nearly another steal. Taylor.
Desiree, so important that she doesn't panic. I think Felicia needs to attack the basket. Very nice move there. Unable to put it down.
Ralph brings it up for the Huskies. Johnson back to Ralph. Inside Cash. Nearly walked and did walk. Got about 5,000 here to help him with a call on that. Well, UConn off to a roaring start. 29-14. Oklahoma trying to make the comeback. We've got 7:08 to go. Not that long ago either. 95. Final Four title game. Minneapolis at the Target Center. UConn and Tennessee. UConn led by a number of All-Americans. Rebecca Lobo, All-American Jennifer Rosati, and future All-Americans Carol Walters and Nikisha Sales, who came off the bench that year. What a ball club, E.
And that was a season that really put Connecticut on the map. And you look at those players and where they've gone on to. Nikisha Sales, she was the all-time leading scorer at Connecticut. Rebecca Lobo's got a great career with the New York Liberty, although she's suffering from a knee injury right now. Carol Walters, Jen Rosati, now the head women's basketball coach at Hartford University. She's following her former coach, isn't she?
35-0 season, and the second time that year that they beat the Lady Vols of Tennessee. This ball club wants to get back there, and tonight they've been doing it with the three-point shot. They've hit 5 of 6 from beyond the arc tonight, while Oklahoma's just 1 of 5.
Great head shoulder fake there by Felicia Whaley.
She just can't get much to go tonight. Felicia Whaley, 1 of 5 from the floor.
Well, once she gets the basketball inside, I mean, it's like you said, Bill, you're going against a brick wall. I mean, there is just defenders everywhere. Much bigger team than Oklahoma, much more physical.
Johnson back out to Ralph with 10 on the shot clock, zipping it low, and Dales was there to knock it away. Intended down low for Swin Cash.
Here you're going to see a great job of defense by Stacey Dales. Good job of defending the pass, deflecting it, so they can't get that easy back door.
Rebound battle, 15-7 tonight, UConn. Both these teams have come in with good rebounding numbers, but there's an example of what UConn has done. They've been out rebounding their opponents by 11. OU leading the Big 12 in rebound margin at better than 9 in their opponents. Ralph posting up, won't go, out of bounds, back to the Huskies.
Connecticut's offense is so interchangeable. There you saw Shea Ralph with her ability to post up and with her back to the basket, going one-on-one, creating some more opportunities.
Nicole was concerned about this aspect, that UConn's so much bigger inside in the way they attack the glass. Finally, this one out of bounds, and it'll go back to Oklahoma.
That sounds like the storyline tonight. Bigger, faster, stronger. It's no surprise they are the #1 team in the country and undefeated.
And although they doubled Oklahoma, the scary thing, future opponents of UConn, they haven't had a run yet. I mean, yeah, they got 10 straight, but they haven't been on a roll. Let me put it that way.
Well, they're getting a lot of their points in their half-court game. They're not getting it in their transition. I mean, Oklahoma is slowing them down, but hey, you got to stop that outside game.
OU just miserable from the floor, below 33% now, and UConn coming right back, and another jumper up and good, this time from Jones, and she makes it 31-14.
This crowd getting very anxious. They'd like to get a run here for Oklahoma and get behind them.
Sherry Cole looking on. Not a good team to make the big comeback against. As a substitution made, Kate Hill comes back in the lineup, and a timeout is called. 30-second timeout here at the Lloyd Noble Center with 5:14 to go in the half, and 31-14 Huskies over the Oklahoma Sooners. Well, a big crowd here tonight, maybe a record crowd, and if it's the case, it'll go back to 97. Trey Cole's first year as OU head coach, not an easy one. January of 97, Felicia Whaley, one of 3 freshmen on that season's team, the only one left. 10 points, 10 rebounds in the victory over Texas A&M. They got their 5th win of the season. And that was it, Alyssa.
That's right. They went on to lose 16 consecutive games after that. It was just a heartbreaking year for Oklahoma. But Sherry Cole, she was coming in trying to employ a new system, a new philosophy, and tried to get some excitement. There you see Felicia Whaley after that big-time win versus Texas A&M. Sherry Cole really has done a tremendous job only in her 4th season. And as last year, I mean, they finished 15-14, went to the 2nd round of the WNIT, played against Arkansas. And I have to tell you, just a side note, Felicia Whaley had 40 points in that game. That just shows you what an offensive threat she can be.
Well, in that first year, what Coach Cole did was bring enthusiasm to the program. And even though they only got the 5 wins, there was life again here in Oklahoma. Well, you want life? Check it out on Sunday mornings. The NFL this morning on Fox Sports Net, 11 a.m. Eastern. Chris Myers, Jackie Slater, Chris Spielman, Marv Levy. He has been dynamite. Preview the day's slate of NFL action, followed by Fox NFL Sunday on your local Fox affiliate. Bo Overton, the assistant coach there with his back to the camera. He has given a shot of credibility to this program. His 2nd year as an assistant, Sherry Cole, and boy, has he helped out.
Well, of course, he played point guard for Billy Tubbs and Dave Bliss, and he knows what the Sooner tradition is all about, and he wants to carry that over with this women's basketball program.
Well, there's a look at Whaley, and she's going to have to get it going tonight. As Felicia just 1 of 5 from the floor, 1 rebound, 2 points. And we're 5-12 away from halftime.
Hey, give credit to Connecticut. They scouted Oklahoma very well. They know the heart and soul of this Sooner team is Felicia Whaley. You can stop her, maybe you can stop anybody.
5-second count just before the pass. And 8 turnovers. Oklahoma struggling offensively. Here's a look at what's happened. Whaley averaging 18, just 2. Caulfield a pair, and Dales, who averages 11, has 6. And the Sooners trailing by 17. You mentioned big credit to the Huskies. There's a reason they're number 1. Their opponent's only shooting 35% on the year. And foul is called on UConn. It'll be on Ralph. And Ralph picks up her 3rd foul. 15 foul for the Huskies, 6 on Oklahoma as Ralph takes a seat with 3 fouls. 8 points for Shea. She's done it kind of quietly tonight.
And you know, if you're Coach Cole, you think maybe that'll knock the wind out of them a little bit, but they just reload. They've got so many players. They're extremely deep. They'll try to add some pressure here on Stacey Dales. We'll see how she responds to it, trying to get it to the high post. Peyton Hill, maybe with the kick out.
Whaley, whistle, 3 seconds on Oklahoma. Well, that seems to be a point of emphasis with the officials tonight. As and I don't know, I think sometimes you don't see it called for a week and a half, and then some coach goes, you know, you'll let him put a 10 in there, and you'll see it called 3 times in the next 3 trips.
Well, someone put a bug in their ear before the game started.
4:17 to go in the half. UConn comfortable 17-point lead. Abrasimova. Long 3 won't go, but a long rebound. Back to the Huskies Jones, and they'll reset.
The post players for Connecticut just beating up on the inside for Oklahoma. They're just getting all kinds of looks. Swing Cash can't give her that.
Dales sandwich going for the rebound, and the foul called by UConn. But it shows you the aggressiveness, and Oriam will take all of that he can get. Those are fouls that are no problem to Coach Gino. Timeout call. We'll take a break. 31-14 Huskies. Oklahoma trailing number 1 ranked UConn. 31-14. 3:57 to go before intermission. How did Oklahoma get here? Well, they were on a roll, having won 8 straight after opening the season 1-2, and including a loss to Arizona over in a Hawaii tournament. Last game against San Diego, couldn't have set them up any better, allowing a school record low 12 points in the second half, and they had been shooting well prior to tonight. But I'm going to say UConn's had something to do with that, as OU's shooting percentage at 30% right now. UConn at 44. Sherry Cole, not a happy guy. And what really surprises me, Alyssa, is this OU team looks a little, not a little, they look tight tonight. And I thought this team would play looser, even if they didn't play well. And there's another example of it. going to the basket, now pulling back out. Abrasamov for the nice feed and the easy two for Asia Jones.
Ever so quickly, Connecticut come out and just score. I think, as you said, Oklahoma, they just need to settle down a little bit. I think they were so tight and just so much adrenaline out there.
Seeley the miss. Hansmeyer the board. And boy, you see the physical nature of this UConn team, just bigger, stronger. And shooting the three again, Kenitra Johnson. Just a freshman. And Johnson hammers the three. And Oriema's team now 6 of 8 from behind the arc.
Well, they certainly are the complete package. Kind of going back to Sherry Cole, she said a lot of people thought she was absolutely crazy, you know, scheduling the #1 team in the country. But she said, you know, E, this is a great opportunity to measure where we are. How do you know how good you can compete when you don't play the Tennessees or the Connecticut's or the Stanfords?
Whaley finally gets one to throw in, and it's a 20-point game. Abrasamova. Bird, Johnson, back to Bird.
Oklahoma needs to have a good defensive sequence here. Get some tips, apply some pressure.
Caulfield, an excellent defender. The knock away there. 7 on the shot clock. Bird looking for the three and got the three. Oh, my.
She is so fluid. Plays with so much confidence. Of course, tore her ACL last year, only played in 8 games.
New Yorker shoots 43% in three-point shooting. Caulfield with it for the Sooners. If there's ever a moment that looks like OU's got some life, a UConn 3 quickly puts the dagger back in.
Well, Oklahoma's just not getting any openings. They've got to get some people to set some screens so they can come off the screens. But great job there by Felicia Whaley to finally come up with 2.
Dales created that. Dales, who had 11 assists in the San Diego win in the last outing. Hansmeyer, the long jumper, the rebound, Seeley. Now Stacey Dales.
Good job by Oklahoma to create the pocket, block out, and move people out, and come up with the carom.
Dales with the air ball. Abrasamova retrieves. UConn on the roll. Hansmeyer, no matter. The follow is up and good by Asia Jones.
Hansmeyer with the miss, but Jones with the putback.
Man, it was almost the way Hansmeyer went, like, well, I'll force it, doesn't matter. Got 2 or 3 coming behind me. And then Hill hits the 3 for Oklahoma.
Hey, that's the versatility that Sherry Cole's been talking about with Kaden Hill, that she can come out and hit the 3. Very physical type player. I like the build on Kaden. I think she's going to do some nice things for this Sooner women's basketball program.
Hill and Caulfield both coming from Ada, Oklahoma. Great women's basketball program. And the rebound off the miss from Jones comes to the Sooners' Seeley, and Dales again brings it up. Final seconds of the first half.
Connecticut certainly is limited in any transition game for Oklahoma. They're not getting any fast breaks. They're forcing them to come down and work 15 seconds off the clock and then try to jack it up.
Yeah, an OU team averaging 79 a game, first in the Big 12, and they come in here with 21 and 36 seconds to go before halftime.
Really surprised with the results of this first half. You know, this is an Oklahoma team that last year played Georgia on the road when Georgia was ranked 5th in the country and played them within 9, then also played at Miami and only lost by 2 points. It'll be interesting to see how they come out of the gates in the second half. They're going to have to really come to play in that first 5 minutes, otherwise it's going to be over.
Caulfield. It's at 41-23. Hardiman will come in for Lanisha. And a 30-second timeout called by UConn or OU. Yeah, UConn, I was going to say, with 36 seconds to go. Men's basketball coming your way. Most of you will see Northwestern and USC tonight at 10:30 Eastern. Following this contest, Northwestern of the Big Ten, USC from the Pac-10. Watch it tonight on Fox Sports Net. Wildcats in the midst of a 3-game winning streak. Right here, UConn rolling toward victory number 9. Up by 18, and you're thinking, what's the deal? Timeout, 36 seconds to go. Well, that's why Gino's been the National Coach of the Year before, because always drilling, always thinking, what do I want to run? What play do I want to call in a situation where it might be a tight game? And he didn't want that. Abrasimova never did get control of it, and she turns it over. 9th turnover of the night for the Huskies. Make it 10. And substitution is Taylor out, Hill in. Hill with the three-point effort a moment ago. And Sherry Cole like to get a bucket here, at least go in on an upbeat note. With pressure defensively, though. Dales will beat that. The kickoff and the wide open shot, and Hardiman converts. 16 seconds to go. On the drive, it won't go, and Oklahoma may get a final pop after the miss by Cash. The press again. Dales looks at the clock. Whaley. It'll count, and it goes off the rim. But Oklahoma, once down 22, trails 41-25, and the Sooners, in fact, down 23. They got the last 7 here to end the first half. And Oklahoma trailing the Huskies of #1 ranked UConn 41-25. And Gino Auriemma will visit now with Alyssa Walker-Campbell. We'll get his thoughts in the first half. Alyssa?
Well, Gino, after having 6 days off, you guys played with a lot of poise and confidence. You got to be pleased how your team performed in this first half.
Well, I thought defensively we did a great job. Oklahoma does a good job, I think, of running their offense and being very patient. So I'm happy with our defense, and I thought our offense, we got a couple good spurts. So it's only 20 minutes, but I'm happy.
What type of adjustments are you going to make?
Well, I think there's some things that we can do offensively to take advantage more of our size in the lane, and I don't think we've done that. And we'll get Svetlana on track a little bit, but other than that, not much.
Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Another day at the office. Huskies 41-25 over Oklahoma. Halftime. We'll be back with halftime activities here on Fox Sports Net from Norman. Stay with us.
Where they've been setting attendance records, and that ought to be a great matchup. And also Colorado and Stanford, where you've got Pac-10, Big Ten.
Well, Iowa State looking for a reprieve after losing the Big 12 Conference Championship last year by 14 points. They only shot like 28% in that game. I'm just so amazed at what a great job Marcia Sharp has done with her program. Was supposed to be a transition year, lost Angie Brazil, Renee Hannibut, Julie Lake, Kara Gibbs, but has done a phenomenal job, an undefeated team. She's going all the way.
You know, you look at Oklahoma here, Gino Auriemma told us about what he'd like to do. What is Oklahoma going to be able to do, or what do they have to do to get back into this?
#1, Oklahoma has got to get on the offensive and defensive boards. That was a point of emphasis for Sherry Cole. She said, look, we got to get a body on somebody, create a pocket, move them out of the lane. This is a much bigger, much faster, much more physical team than Oklahoma. If they want to compete, they've got to get those Karams.
Yeah, the Huskies living up to the billing so far of the nation's #1 ranked team. They, in fact, were a unanimous pick in this week's poll.
Stay with us. We're at the half. 41-25, UConn. Connecticut with a 41-25 halftime lead over the University of Oklahoma. Welcome back on Fox Sports Net here at the Lloyd Noble Center. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Land. Well, for Sherry Cole, this is her 4th season at Oklahoma. She turns this program around. The only person that's been here with her all the way has been senior Felicia Whaley, and they have a connection. Of course, Cole, coming out of the high school ranks, as a successful coach to make the big jump to Division I. And, of course, for Felicia Whaley, out of small town Slayton, Texas, not highly recruited, and has been the leading scorer here in each of her seasons at Oklahoma. They certainly have a love for each other, as Coach Cole reflected back on what has been a great career.
If you told me, of anybody in America you want, who will you take? I would not trade Felicia Whaley. Partly because of her abilities, obviously. She's a versatile player. She can post up, she can shoot the three. She plays defense against a perimeter player, a post player, it doesn't matter. She can do it. She's all utility. But mainly because of her heart. She has just been the greatest blessing for me to be able to sign her in my first year and to have 4 years with her as the backbone of our program. I can't tell you what a blessing it has been for me. Both as a player, she's been wonderful. As a leader, she's been wonderful. But she is just a really special person. In 4 years, she's never come to practice unprepared. Not one day. You know, sometimes you have good days, you have bad days. Felicia's days are always good. She finds a way to make them good. I think she's a very special kid.
Whaley just 6 points at the half, but watch out, you know she'll never quit. Sooners are down to the Huskies, 41-25 at the break. We're back with more from Oklahoma in just a moment. Oklahoma in control, or they're Connecticut in control. Oklahoma wishes that was the case. UConn with a 41-25 halftime lead. Bill and Alyssa Walker-Campbell with you here at the Lloyd Noble Center. Let's take a look at some of the highlights and why UConn has that 16-point lead. Part of it is the three-point shooting. The good feed on the penetration by Bird, and Kenitra Johnson knocks it down for UConn, and then Bird dips inside the arc, steps back out, and she drains the three as well. UConn has hit 7 of 10 from behind the arc. The alley-oop to Dales has been a highlight for the Sooners, and then Stacey Dales with some nice passing of her own as she's got 5 assists tonight, slips this one to Hardiman, and the Sooners not much to shout about so far. We'll take a brief timeout. We'll be back with more. 41-25 at the half. It's UConn. Second half about to begin. UConn with a 41-25 lead at the break. And let's check in with Alyssa Walker-Campbell and head coach Sherry Cole of Oklahoma.
Thanks a lot, Bill. Sherry, your team's struggling a little bit in the first half offensively. What kind of adjustments can we look for?
Well, I think our biggest problem is we have to rebound. That was the key going in. And we're getting out rebounded 23-12. We've got to do a better job on the boards. And I think the biggest difference in this game is they're 7 of 10 from the three-point line. Are you kidding me? That has to stop.
And we've also got to get the ball in Felicia Whaley's hand. She's only got 6 points in this first half.
Right, and she's doing some good things, and they're doing a good job of keeping the ball out of her hands. If we don't turn it over so much, we have a few more opportunities to score. I think we're all right. The first 4 minutes of the second half will tell.
Well, good luck in the second half.
Thanks.
Let's go back over to Bill.
Thanks, Alyssa, and take a look at some numbers here as Oklahoma 2 of 7 from three-point, 39% overall, and the rebounds that Coach Cole mentioned, 23-12, the advantage for the Huskies. Turnovers are even. Points off turnovers not a huge factor. The points in the paint even. But Alyssa, I'll tell you what hurts is those three-pointers are emotional daggers as well as the extra point. When Oklahoma would get a basket, it seemed like UConn would answer with a 3, and it's just like, wait a minute, we're trading 2 for 3 here.
Well, what's happening is Connecticut's coming up with the offensive boards, and then they're pitching it out to their three-point specialists, and then they're just jamming it down from outside, and that is very disheartening for Oklahoma, as you say.
Oklahoma got the last 7 of the first half. Let's see if they can continue that run here to the second half. Hardiman, Whaley out front.
Oklahoma trying to set some back screens here and get Felicia Whaley open.
Hill misses the 3, the scramble, and Hill with a rebound. They didn't get a lot of loose balls in the first half either. Down low to Dales.
Great job by Dales to position and get herself open. Kind of a little bit of a crazy pass there to Caton Hill.
Bird trying to kick it out to Brasimova, who was already headed to the basket.
It'll be interesting to see how Oklahoma responds. As Sherry Cole was telling me, they've got to come out in this first 5 minutes and try to stop that three-point shooting of Sue Bird.
44-25 as UConn says, we haven't cooled off a bit. 8 of 11 from behind the arc.
They're coming out here in the second half. They're not changing anything up defensively. That's what you want to do on the zone. You want to get it in the middle of the floor. Attack the zone.
Well, let's take a look at leading scorers. Bird, after that last bucket, has now hit 4 of 4 in three-point shooting. Ralph with 8, the same for Jones and Johnson with 5. And for Oklahoma, Whaley and Dale 6 apiece. Caulfield and Seeley 4 each. And at the line is Felicia Whaley. And Whaley, an excellent free throw shooter, 83%, 6th in the league. Leads the team in scoring, rebounding, and free throw shooting. And chance here to make it 44-27.
And I might also expound on that. She's hit 7 threes this year. That was one of the things that Felicia Whaley worked very diligently on in the offseason. She also played on the All-Big 12 select team. Spent some time over in Europe.
A lot of international experience. Whaley and Dales, this team getting around.
Well, Felicia's got a big future ahead of her. Sherry Cole, head coach, says she really feels that she could be an impact player within the WNBA. However, she wouldn't be playing the 4 position. She'd be playing the 3 position. That's why it was so paramount that she came out and really worked on that three-point shot.
Brasimova shows you a little bit of her individual talent with that jumper a moment ago. 46-27. Oklahoma going for the three, will not fall for Hardiman. Rebound Sooners Caulfield, and gets the bucket off the window. And the Sooners can't afford to play swap out. Down 17.
Trying to get it to the high post, and they can kick it. That's Stacey Hansmeier can hit that.
Wow, I'm telling you, Hansmeier hits the three. When you got it going, you got it going. And tonight is Connecticut's night from the three-point line.
Well, Stacey wants to make the most of her opportunity. I mean, she started tonight. She's playing in front of her home crowd. Not that often she gets to come down here to Norman, Oklahoma. She wants to have a stellar performance.
That's the big reason for this game. We're going to UConn, Oklahoma. What's the connection here? We got two players that are from the area. Hansmeier, of course, from Norman, and Sauer from Midwest City. And he made the commitment to go to UConn, and Coach Gino made the commitment to get him a home game, if you will. Dales hits the three. 49-32. Sauer, Rasimova. Bird looking low, nothing there. And you see UConn really looking inside a little bit more, but I wouldn't be too patient with it as long as I'm hitting three-point shots. Foul is called on Oklahoma.
The University of Connecticut is so good at coming down, setting some screens, and trying to set some players up. Here they're going to be looking for Stacey Hansmeier as Svetlana is coming down. Is not able to fight through the pick. Look at Stacey Hansmeier wide open, and she's got that range. She can hit it, boy, versus UCLA. She was nailing them from outside. And as I said, she's playing in front of her home crowd. She wants to make the most of this opportunity.
Dales getting the loose one from Hardiman. Draws the foul, goes to the free throw line.
Really would like to see some more of that kind of play from Stacey Dales, where she's attacking the basket. She's being very aggressive. See how good she is in transition. Can pick up the dribble. Little swing move. Hey, showing the versatility, but great defense there by Connecticut to not allow her to establish good position, however they fouled.
Second team foul on the Huskies this half, and Dales now in double figures with 10 points after the three-pointer a moment ago, and then connecting on the free throw. Make it 49-33. Dales 73% on the year. Last year shot 66 from the line. Had 150 assists in her freshman year. Third best of any freshman in Oklahoma history. And now a little pressure on Bird as they look for the half-court trap, and she traveled with a basketball.
And that's the kind of intensity that Sherry Cole wants her team to have. With their pressure on the ball, they're doing a 5 count. They're in their face, calling ball, ball, ball. Great job by Stacey Dales to be attacking on defense.
Dales puts it into Hardiman. Oklahoma down 15. They trailed by 16 at the half. Biggest deficit was 23.
Trying to run some triangle offense here.
And the shot, good look, but wouldn't fall by Caulfield.
And that's true. I mean, Oklahoma is getting great looks at the basket. They're just unable to convert.
Whaley pulls down the rebound, and a foul on UConn on the reach. This one will be whistled against Kelly Schumacher. Moriema looks down his bench, makes a move. And Kenisha Johnson, at a good first half, will come in for Bird. It's her third foul.
That's not a person you want to get unleashed. She was 5 for 5 from three-point range, 17 points versus UCLA. That's what we've talked so much about this evening, is that Connecticut can go so deep into their bench and just platoon people in and out.
I think I said that was in Schumacher. I beg your pardon on that. Dales inside to Hill.
Didn't need the power dribble, should have went straight up.
You know, and it's again, players are not ready for the basketball, and as a result, they get it, and to gather themselves, they take the dribble.
And that has to be so frustrating for Stacey Dales.
And a timeout call with a 49-34 UConn. Oklahoma trailing UConn. The #1 ranked Huskies 49, Sooners 34 at the Lloyd Noble Center in Norman, Oklahoma. Glad to have you with us here on Fox Sports Net. Women's college basketball. Bill Land, Alyssa Walker-Campbell with you as the Huskies gather, and the Sooners back out on the floor. Oklahoma trailing at the half, 41-25. But the three-point shooting of the Huskies, the big story, 9 of 12 from behind the arc tonight. Oklahoma just 3 of 11. And Johnson has 6 of 6, as you see what the Huskies have been doing shooting-wise. You got this much talent, play defense the way they play, and shoot like that. They might as well just move in as an entry to the WNBA. And inside, the shot is up and good. Again, Swin Cash gets into the act.
Oklahoma there on that last sequence trying to trap the wings and maybe slow down Connecticut somewhat, but it does no good.
Stacey Dale's out front. Will reset with 17 on the shot clock.
Stacey Dale's finally in double digits. We need to try to get some points in production out of Felicia Whaley.
Hardiman, beautiful pass.
Oh, you cannot miss that type of shot.
Yes, you can. Whaley gets the rebound and puts it back in.
Nice job on Whaley, worth the reprieve.
Ralph, well, you're not going to get many second looks like that, though. Abrasimova looking low, nothing there. 15 on the shot clock. Ralph, if she sets up, she is dynamite, and she converts. Shea Ralph, 60% from the floor, 19th in the nation. And the steal by Abrasimova.
That's the quick hands I'm talking about with Svetlana. She's such a great anticipator.
And then Cash with the follow-up. And it's 56-36. Timeout call with 14:21 to go, a 30-second timeout. And UConn, about the time they look vulnerable, bang, another three-point shot, an inside look or a rebound, and they're up 20. Well, with the top-ranked team in the country in town to play the Sooners, Sherry Cole looking for more respect and talking about the good things about Oklahoma toughening up its schedule this year.
Well, I just have always believed that if you want to be talked about with Connecticut and Stanford and folks that are in the top, then you have to play them. I don't think you can pad your schedule and say, well, we won 20 games and they won 20 games, we must be as good as they are. That's not how it works. You can look at Connecticut's schedule, and they play Old Dominion and Tennessee and Louisiana Tech and Stanford, play one of the toughest schedules in the league. Well, there's a reason for that, and their performance and their history in the last few years is a reflection of preparing throughout the year.
And Connecticut putting on the clinic here tonight. 56-36 and 14:07 to go. And the top winning percentage in Division I the last 6 years, owned by UConn, 92%. Right.
Connecticut does a great job with their scheduling, their RPI rating, they're #1, and also they were #1 in signing recruits this year.
Well, another part of it is, and Cole's trying to get it done at Oklahoma, is that if you're going to recruit top players, they want to play the best teams and the best players, and UConn is at the level they can do that night in and night out. Non-conference opponents for the Sooners, Arizona, they lost to earlier this year, 9-1. Stephen F. Austin, 7-2. North Texas coming up, and Hawaii and TCU. North Texas, the Sooners will meet on January 5th, that's Wednesday, before they open up Big 12 play against Texas Tech on the 8th of January. $13:53 to go. Gino Auriemma takes a brief breather. His team not, though, with full court pressure. Timeout, Oklahoma. Sooners call a 30-second timeout. Unable to inbounds against the full court heat from the Huskies. 30-second timeout. 13:53 to go, 56-36. The three-point shooting has been the story tonight for the Huskies.
Connecticut is so excellent at executing their offense. They're looking for Shea Ralph. She's going to be coming on the left corner of your screen. Here you see her. She's coming all the way over. They're going to try to set her up with a screen here, and she's going to come all the way over to try to hit the three. And boy, nobody picks her up. Here's the night screen. They set her up. She is wide open. Someone's got to get out there and get a hand in her face.
Well, Alyssa, Caulfield got bumped off, but no attempt to really get after the shooter. And this team's shooting 10 of 13. You don't get out there and at least make an attempt to get a hand in the face, it's only going to get uglier.
Well, I think everybody's on the Oklahoma team. They've got to help each other get around those screens and slide through it.
Dales sees the double team, kicks it back off to Hardiman. Jennifer Cunningham in the game for the Sooners, 6'3" sophomore, another Canadian from Kingston, Ontario. Here's Whaley on the baseline. Feeds Cunningham. Juggled it for a moment, got fouled, and will go to the free throw line. More Big 12 women's basketball is coming your direction on Sunday. Most of you will see 6th-ranked Texas Tech against 14th-rated Iowa State. What a way to start the Big 12, the defending champs against the team picked to win it all this year. And then at 4 o'clock Eastern, Colorado and Stanford as the Buffs go against the Pac-10's Cardinal.
And Sealberry kind of in a transition year herself. Of course, Linda Lappy, their top player, is out for the season. And coming up with a big-time win, though, versus Illinois by 8 points. Great job by Sealberry.
Yeah, they'll be an exciting team to watch, and one that ought to improve a bunch as the year goes on. Cunningham can't get this one to fall. 56-37 as she hits 1 of 2. Came in just 38%. Brasimova feeds low to Kelly. Back out now after Schumacher couldn't get the shot. Now again to Schumacher, and the shot does fall.
Great job by Kelly Schumacher to reset herself. Just kicks it out to the perimeter, establishes position. Defensively, you got to get around her. You can't allow that type of open look. I am glad to see that Jennifer Cunningham is out on the floor for Oklahoma, because the Sooners haven't solidified their post position. They need some bigger players. They're not going to get it done when their post players are under 6 feet.
And there's an example where Whaley just outsized inside, even though she made the nice move to the basket. Oh, great pass. Oh, my goodness. Kenitra Johnson just drilled it. And Abrasimova almost not ready for it. I mean, we're talking an All-American not even prepared for that one.
That's kind of hard to believe, isn't it?
Wow.
Here you see Felicia Whaley, a little one-on-one, maybe looking at a nice spin move there. But it's those nice long arms. And here's UConn off and running and just drills the pass to Svetlana Abrasimova. That's the big-time difference there.
Svetlana had the head on the swivel, or she'd have taken it in the back of the noggin. She just looked back at the right moment. I always tell you, don't ever turn your back on the ball. Well, she didn't.
Well, this is an Oklahoma team that needs to get their head on a swivel, because some of the passes by Stacey Dale have just been phenomenal. She plays at such a high level of competition.
Dales can't hit the 3 here. Here's Bird with it for the Huskies with 12:56 to go. Down low in the foul, and Abrasimova goes to the free throw line. So the lead at 23, and again, matched the largest lead of the night.
Svetlana Abrasimova does such a great job of filling the lane. She's trying to be the first post player down the floor and get on the block. Here you see her, nice job of trailing. And where are the Oklahoma Sooners? They're standing behind her. They got to get in front of her and not allow that easy A-B pass inside.
Yeah, and as Abrasimova went to the ball side, Cash went to the weak side and available for the offside rebound in case it was there. I mean, UConn, there's a method to the break. It's not just get down the floor and pick a favorite spot.
Well, I'll tell you one thing about their post players, is they could be track athletes, because they can get up and down the floor. There's not enough praise that I can say about Svetlana Abrasimova. I mean, I really feel that she'll be the National Player of the Year.
Abrasimova hits the free throws and makes it 62-37.
Felicia Whaley trying to set up Sunny and maybe get a pick for her. See how far Connecticut's pushing Oklahoma outside. They don't want to allow them those easy looks.
Caulfield spins inside for the bucket. 62-39. Schumacher. Abrasimova cutting through.
Oh, you can't allow her to flash like that.
Good patience by UConn and no selfishness. They all know they're going to get their points. Great feed that time from Abrasimova. Unable to finish was Kelly Schumacher. Here come the Sooners. Seeley trying to penetrate. And Whittley, the trailer that time, gets the bucket. And Felicia Whaley now with 10 points.
Oklahoma hoping for a little bit of momentum here, getting the crowd behind them. So amazing to see all the fans that have come out to watch this game. I mean, I remember how this team was doing 10 years ago. This is a program that was really struggling, and Sherry Cole has done a tremendous job as a great leader, and she's got the athletic department behind her. This program is up and coming without a doubt.
Yeah, and that's where this Oklahoma team, even though victory seems certainly remote here as the shot goes awry and a foul is called, you got a good captive audience here. You got to bring them back. And Oklahoma's effort that they display over the final 11 minutes of this game, you got a chance to sell some tickets. People realize the strength of the opponent tonight.
Well, they're seeing the very best tonight in women's college basketball, looking at Connecticut. This is a great measuring stick for Oklahoma to see where they want to be. But also, Sherry said, hey, I've got other reasons I scheduled Connecticut. I wanted to see Stacey Hansmeyer. I mean, she said she's part my own. She's kind of like my own daughter, you know. She used to come to my camps when she was in 5th grade. So real special feelings that she has for Stacey Hansmeyer. She kind of feels bad that she didn't get to follow her career as closely.
Bird with 13 points at the free throw line for a second free throw. Sauer and Hansmeyer, the Oklahoma connection, back in the ball game for UConn again. And a timeout is called with 10:51 to play here in Norman. UConn 64, Oklahoma 41, 10:51 remaining. At University of Oklahoma, Student Union Tower here in Norman, and across the campus at the Lloyd Noble Center. Huge crowd on hand, and you see not too much excitement right now for the OU fans, even though they're hanging in there as Oklahoma trails 64-41. I'm Bill Land alongside Alyssa Walker-Campbell. And Oklahoma's got a couple of players on the floor for the Sooners tonight. Lanisha Caulfield as well as Kaiten Hill. Quite a duo. Caulfield, the sophomore, averaging 13 a game, and Hill, a freshman, averaging 10 a game.
It's interesting talking to Sherry Cole. She said Lanisha Caulfield wasn't highly recruited out of high school because she played post, and she's only 5'8". They said, hey, where are you going to play her? And Sherry said, well, you know, she can score 40 points a game. She knows how to score and how to get it done. I want her to come to the University of Oklahoma.
UConn continues to blaze from the field, 8 of 13 from the floor in the second half. To up their overall percentage to 50%. And they've hit all 3 of their threes in the second half. They go 10 of 13 in that category. Oklahoma doing a much better job in the rebounding category, starting to come up with those caroms, as now they are with 21. Paige Sowers, Dales goes to take the ball out of bounds. And Oklahoma will set up on the corners. 10:24 remaining. Deflected, and it's taken away by Abrasamova. She saves it back to Caulfield. Here's where Oklahoma needs to get a transition bucket.
There really shouldn't have been any hesitation by Lanisha there. Should have just taken it right to the hole. Maybe pitched off to somebody with the, you know, when they come up on it.
Yeah, Oklahoma, because of the defense of UConn in the half-court game, has been very cautious when they have had the opportunity to run. Caulfield, 11 on the shot clock. She's double-teamed. Looked like she walked. May not matter. Now out of bounds, back to the Sooners, 7 on the shot clock on the inbounds. NFL this morning coming your direction, Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Chris Myers, Jackie Slater, Chris Spielman, Marv Levy preview the day's slate of NFL action, followed by Fox NFL Sunday on your local Fox affiliate. 7 on the shot clock. Hill posting up on the taller Sauer, and you saw the effect of that height. Bird. Knocked away, and a foul is called.
And just going back to that play, Kaiten Hill's going to have to be able to adjust to those types of situations because there is a lot of big and very strong players in the Big 12 Conference.
Oklahoma will face full court pressure again. Gino Auriemma changing up the defense and forced the turnover.
I think the crowd's wanting to appeal that call a little bit. Here you see Stacey Dales handing off to her partner, Felicia Whaley. Could have gone either way.
It went the way of the Huskies, and Abrasamova tries to make them pay and does.
Great execution by Connecticut. Svetlana coming off that screen, steps up, pops that 16-foot shot.
And Abrasamova makes it 66-41. He's in double figures now. Got 10 on the night. Whaley. It's the three-point shot. 66-44.
But you can't exchange buckets like that. You got to get back on defense.
Shea Ralph. 8:53 to go, making it 68-44. Whaley, the fadeaway, and this one good.
Felicia's showing her versatility. She can do it from inside out.
17 for Whaley after 6 in the first half, 11 in the second. And Whaley starting to get it going a little bit with 8:38 remaining. But OU scores, what happens the other way?
Well, Felicia, she pops that nice three-point shot. But, hey, you can't beat on your chest. You got to get back down and play some defense. UConn will run it right back up to you. Here you see everyone filling the lanes, and that's just textbook right there. That's how you run the fast break.
Maybe it's UConn's speed and efficiency of the transition game, but Oklahoma is being made to look a step slow tonight. And again, I'll give the credit there to UConn, but you've got to be getting down the floor like you've been shot out of a cannon against this team.
Well, I think you also have to factor in that fatigue may start being a factor in this game, because this is so much more of a bigger team than Oklahoma.
Yeah, good point. Started to wear them down a bit. Rebounding battle, 28-21 UConn at this point with 8:21 to go. Ralph kicks it off.
Physical, a lot of bumping and grinding inside there. Not allowing those easy looks, but then Shea can take it to the hole.
Yeah, Ralph is not only their leading scorer, she is a vintage scorer. As in high school, 33 points per game average. Last year, 16 a game to lead them in scoring. Just a junior from Fayetteville, North Carolina, and averaging 17 a contest this year.
And I might add on that, scored over 3,000 points in high school. That's unbelievable. She knows how to get it done. They're saying she obviously is one of the top 5 players in the country. She's got a big future ahead of her.
Probably disappointed in her 60% shooting percentage, because as a high schooler, she shot 70%. Dales with a miss, but OU on the boards. And the follow-up is good by Kaden Hill. A little bit of what you were talking about a minute ago is showing up much stronger.
And I like seeing that use out of the left hand there by Kaden.
68-48.
Oh.
Ralph again attacks the glass and will go to the free throw line. Ralph 86% at the line, so she'll take the foul anytime.
Connecticut is so good at executing their offense and just cutting and going to the hole and setting up people off picks.
16 fouls each way as Ralph hits the free throw to make it 69-48. And Shea Ralph gets them both to go, and it's 70-48. She's got 15, and UConn on a roll again with 7:34 to go. UConn used to playing in front of sellout crowds. Well, not a sellout tonight, but the largest crowd in University of Oklahoma history for women's basketball, and the largest crowd to ever watch a women's game in the state. 10,713 as OU smashes its women's basketball crowd numbers. The previous best, we were here for that. We showed you a little bit earlier the 96-97 game with Texas A&M. Sherry Cole's first year, and they had 6250 here. And what's even more incredible about tonight, yeah, a great opponent in UConn, but you got the all-college basketball tournament going on where the Oklahoma men are playing 20 minutes up the road in Oklahoma City tonight, and also the OU football team about to get ready for New Year's Eve in the Independence Bowl. OU sold 25,000 tickets for that. Many of those fans have already headed to Shreveport, so a great tribute to the OU crowd. And Caulfield says, I'll give you something to cheer about as she hits the three. Lanisha just 1 of 14 for the year coming in and gets this one to go.
And these fans have been so attentive tonight. They're really rallying behind this Oklahoma team. Oklahoma down but not out, really still trying to come up with some things. And there you see Kaden Hill trying to come up with some things defensively.
Ralph's pass caught Cash not ready, and OU picks it up on the 15th turnover by the Huskies. OU has been down 25 on a couple of occasions. They've got it to 19 with 6:41 to go, and Whaley for the three. No one on the boards. Ralph is there, and here's the transition.
Boy, you got
to
to turn your hips and get down because they're so quick in that transition.
And then the second opportunity, and a foul. And it'll be against UConn. After the miss by Asia Jones, the foul will be, I believe, on 32, Cash. Cash is a sophomore from Keysport, Pennsylvania.
She's a real source of energy for this team. A great swing player, can do so many things. Of course, last year was sidelined a little bit. Had a stress fracture in her right shin, missed 12 games. There was a lot of players that were sidelined last year. 4 starters suffering from major injuries. But Connecticut's still able to finish 29-5 and win the Big East title.
Well, and this team is not an old team. I mean, you look at Bird, who's at 4 of 4 from 3. She's a sophomore. Kenichi Johnson, a freshman. Abrasimova, still just a junior. Cash, we mentioned, a sophomore. And Shea Ralph, a junior.
Well, and I asked Gino, I said, is there any similarities between this team and the team that won the national championship in '95? He said, not really. He said, you know, that was a very senior-dominated team, a lot of experience.
The Sooners cut it to 17, and Shea Ralph comes back to hit the jumper to put the lead back at 19. Whaley with it out front. Dales, and now Caulfield.
Oklahoma doesn't need to hold the basketball. They've got to really move that around and break down that zone defense.
5:52 to go. Dales just throws it up. The follow-up, and it's good. A little bit of the athleticism there of Stacey Dales. And again, Oklahoma not quitting. So many youngsters here in the crowd, they aren't quitting. Abrasimova's shot won't go, and it goes to the Sooners.
Oklahoma playing with so much heart. Here you see Stacey Dales, what she does best. Hey, she really didn't get that great look at the basket. Didn't get a whistle, but hey, just went back, right back up with it again. Svetlana way underneath the basket and out of position. Connecticut coming over the back of Oklahoma just nails Whaley.
We got 18 fouls in the Huskies, so Oklahoma, if they're going to have the miracle comeback, will get the opportunity to get some points with the clock stopped. As Whaley's at the line, 17 points, 5 rebounds for Felicia Whaley. 1,719 points in her career, second on the OU all-time scoring chart.
And she'll appear in over 17 statistical categories. You talk about an impact that she's made with this Oklahoma women's program. She was Sherry Cole's first recruit and really believed in the vision that Sherry had for this program.
All that bragging, and she said, forget it, I need to make my free throws. It normally does. Inside, and the foul, almost an and one opportunity there, as Jones will go to the free throw line. Foul on Jadra Seeley, her second. And Asia Jones, a 61% free throw shooter, another sophomore out of New Jersey. And UConn, as evidenced by their 2 Oklahomans, a national recruiting school.
It's just hard to find a weak link in this team.
But it wasn't always that way for Gino.
No,
I mean, people forget he built this program, a losing season in his first year at 12-15, and then put that in his rearview mirror as this team just incredible. And maybe the best thing about all of it, 100% graduation rate of those that have stayed at UConn.
Wins over 79% of his games. He is truly one of the most accomplished coaches in women's college basketball.
74-55, OU turns it over. 17 turnovers.
I like how Oklahoma is playing so hard. They're not giving up. They're down with 5:14.
On the drive, the foul called, I believe, against Dales, who trying to avoid camera support for the basket and everything else, took quite a tumble, and Stacey picks up her 3rd personal foul.
Now you got to move your feet defensively, and you can't allow the baseline. They can just so explosive and quick. Just takes off, uses that upper body strength.
Johnson saw Dales give a quick glance to the right, and that's when she made her move, earned her a trip to the free throw stripe. And 5:05 to go, 75-55 as she hits the first for her 6th point tonight. Hardiman comes in, and Seeley goes out for Oklahoma.
KJ, as you see there, with 6 points and only a freshman. Gino's got to love having her in the program for the next 4 years.
Dales recovers. A lot of folks would like UConn's second group. I mean,
well, like
this team, well, they're getting 36 points a game from their bench. Hill.
I think a lot of these players that have come to Connecticut have made major sacrifices. You know, they really have bought into this team system, and they could go anywhere virtually in the country and start for a program.
I want to remind you, Fox Sports News coming up at 10 o'clock, and most of you will see men's basketball at 10:30. Northwestern and USC. Big Ten, Pac-10 matchup. Hill at the free throw line. 69.6 coming in. She's got 8 points, 9 rebounds tonight. And 75-56 the count. Well, Oklahoma, after just 25 in the first half, things have loosened up a little bit offensively for the Sooners here. They just have not been able to really slow UConn. UConn headed toward that 91 point per game average that they've had all year. Inside, and the throw jump. Kelly Schumacher just flips it up in off the glass.
Beautiful jump hook there. They just seem completely unfazed by Oklahoma's defense. They're not intimidated whatsoever. But Oklahoma on that last sequence playing behind the post players defensively, and I've said it so many times tonight, you can't do that. You gotta swing that basketball, force that zone to shift. Beautiful job. Great execution there by Stacey Dales.
Caulfield to Dales on the great pass, and Dales puts it in, and Stacey showing her scoring ability now with 15 tonight. 23 her season high.
Nice handoff there to Shea Ralph. Are they going to call it offensive?
Yep, it'll be a charge against Shea Ralph. With 3:46 to go, her 4th foul, and she'll come out of the ball game. Abrasimova will replace her. Timeout. Sooners no quit. They're down 77-59. Dales bringing them back a bit. We'll take a brief break. UConn up 18. Sherry Cole in her 4th year here at Oklahoma, and got to know Gina Auriemma when Stacey Hansmeier was being recruited by Auriemma, and then she came here from Norman High School. Sherry did, to become the head coach. Well, what do you need? A little endorsement from who? A guy like Gina Auriemma, and gives you an idea of what he thinks of her. And he's been pretty prophetic as that final line, talking about improving its women's basketball program with the addition of Sherry Cole as its head coach. And Sherry is certainly, she mentioned, always trying to learn from the best, and it's hard to go much further than Gino when you want tips and advice on how to build a program. He said, I also didn't baby me and said, don't start moaning, it's going to be tough. And it was, as just 5 wins in the first year, but he had been through that as well. 77-59 the count here.
That's the kind of aggressive play I like to see out of Lanisha, but boy, stripped away from Stacey Hansmeier with the block.
Got your aggression. The double team block as Johnson brings it back out, and just a bigger, stronger basketball team. Backbone out there. UConn so patient.
This is the maturity, and it's hard to believe that they have this much maturity with such a young team. This is not a senior-dominated squad.
Of course, you hit 10 of 13 threes, it's easy to become patient, too, on a night where, but when you shoot 43% from beyond the arc for the year, it's no fluke that you have a red-hot night like 10 of 13 either.
Well, I think what's interesting about Connecticut, you can talk about their maturity, but they have adjusted accordingly. Okay, so Oklahoma took away their transition game. All right, we'll come down in a half-court offensive set. We'll, run 10 seconds off the clock, jack it up from three-point range, and come run down and play a little bit of defense.
Asia Jones at the free throw line. (78-59). Game was tied at 7 in the early going, and then a 10-0 run later on made it 21-10 UConn, and they've never looked back. The tie-up and the alternate possession will go to the Huskies. UConn led at the half, 41-25. Hit a 3 to start the second half as just an idea that they weren't done with the long-range shooting. They got up by as many as 25. Oklahoma's been within 17 and gets it on the turnover here with 3:05 to go.
Here they need to set up either Stacey Dales or Felicia Whaley. Somebody come over and set a screen so she can run off of it.
Hill picks up the loose one that got tapped away. Good hustle by Caton.
How about great composure?
10 on the shot clock. Caulfield. And then Hill right back inside and then tried to dish it off to Whaley. It'll go to UConn.
I'm surprised Caton didn't take it straight up. Might have gotten a foul. That's a risky pass down low.
That expression may tell it all for Oklahoma tonight. Rasimova back out to Jones. 2:30 to go. Johnson.
So good at keeping Oklahoma off balance. There's so much speed and quickness with this Connecticut team. They can just juke you anyway.
80-59. Dales with it out front for the Sooners.
Got to be deliberate. That's right. Whaley trying to set up Dales and get a screen for her.
Short on the three and out of bounds to Oklahoma. One of those you got it, I got it for UConn. Nobody had it. And 30-second timeout called here. Oklahoma down 80-59. Remind you to stay with us here on Fox Sports Net. Fox Sports News prime time, and in the headlines, #1 Stanford in action tonight in men's hoop play. They take on New Hampshire. And Reggie versus Ryder. You want to know more about all of that, as well as the bowl highlights as the bowl games continue here as we approach the next century. All on Fox Sports News after the game.
Of course, Oklahoma advancing to the bowl game. First bowl game in 5 years. They were having a little bit of a drought until Bob Stoops came along.
Yeah, they've gobbled up every ticket and every hotel room in sight to go down to Shreveport. Dales got it to go.
Nothing like the roll at Lloyd Noble Center. Helps you out every little bit.
17 for Stacey Dales to lead the Sooners. Inside, won't go this time by Jones. Dales brings it out. The lead pass, and Johnson there to swat it away. Rasimova scrambling for it. Goes back to Oklahoma. And what's amazing about New Year's Eve in the Independence Bowl in Shreveport, that game may end around 11:30. And probably a sellout crowd. Many of those folks will celebrate the millennium in the parking lot or else in traffic. So that tells you how diehard the fans are and how supportive are to go to Shreveport in support of their Sooner football team.
I feel sorry for all the sports writers. How would you like to be working on New Year's Eve?
That's why we're in this business. When it's over, we're out of here.
That's right. We're going to be flying on New Year's Day, so you better do some Hail Marys real quick,
right.
Bill.
Looking forward to the Big 12 season that'll be kicked off by Iowa State and Texas Tech on January 2nd. That's Sunday up in Ames, Iowa, where they too have been setting record crowds. For 10,000 here tonight, Whaley. You knew she'd get her points as she has come alive here in the second half. See the first half numbers, just 6 points on 3 of 7. The second half with a dozen, and drops in another one. OU has been a success. Both teams have shot well from the free throw line. Both go over 80%. Hansmeyer misses on the drive. Dales. And Johnson, like a safety in football, sitting back there knowing Stacey Dales is always looking up the floor. And she's kind of lurks back and gets caught in the middle of that wave coming down the floor and then jumps up for the interception.
Well, KJ is such a great anticipator. She knew that Oklahoma wanted to get down in transition and throw that long baseball pass.
Kaditra to the free throw line. And the miss here. 1:05 to go. Up next, Fox Sports News primetime. We'll keep you informed. Most will be catching all of that. So stay with us here on Fox Sports Net immediately following the game. 81-63.
If I'm Lanisha Caulfield, I'm going to continue to take it to the hole.
Sauer claimed the rebound there. And a foul in the backcourt on Oklahoma. Be on Hardiman, I believe. Her third. Well, next up for Oklahoma, it's a non-conference game with North Texas. This game 2 of a 5-game homestand for the Sooners. That'll be on Wednesday, January 5th, and then Oklahoma open up league play against Texas Tech on the 8th. For UConn, this is a breather. A 9-2 Oklahoma team is just a breather because Sunday they've got Louisiana Tech back in Stores, and then Big East play at Georgetown before they meet Tennessee on the 8th. And just a who's who of college basketball, and then they get into the, of course, the meat of the Big East where they're picked to win it all, as last year they did.
What a great matchup taking on Tennessee. Tamika Catchings, obviously one of the premier players in the country. Pat Summitt's got it rocking and rolling in Knoxville.
Caulfield. Hardiman back out to Dales. Inside the final minute of play here. Whaley kicks to the corner. Jumper won't go for Hill. Hardiman got the three. Sonny Hardiman.
Sonny getting some high fives from her teammates, and she kind of just dropped her shoulders and was like, finally it was able to drop.
And just the game clock here, 31.3 seconds. That's what the slight delay was for. 83-66. And in the backcourt, the push called on Lanisha Caulfield. Well, Oklahoma got a little consolation. You say, well, UCLA gave up 106 to them and only got 64.
Right.
5 fouls on Caulfield. She is gone and ended up with 11 points on the night for Lanisha Caulfield. A couple below her average. Fouls out with 11. The steal leader on this team got caught trying to go for one there and is done for the night with 28 ticks left on the clock. At the line, Shea Ralph with 17 points on the evening and 6 assists.
As you said, Lanisha Caulfield taking a seat, but I tell you what, she's one of the best defensive players also in the Big 12 Conference. This wasn't her best performance tonight, but you're going to see some great totals, some great numbers out of that young lady.
Dales for the 2. And it's 84-68.
They're playing with a lot of guts on the line. I think Sherry Cole's wanting some more votes for that top 25 AP poll.
Well, I'll tell you what, they have could have very easily just folded their tent and been a 40-point loser here. The long baseball pass was not touched, so they'll go back to the other end for Oklahoma to get the basketball. And they'll get another scoring opportunity underneath their basket with 18 seconds to go. Gene Auriemma relaxed at this point.
He took his jacket off. I tell you what's amazing is a lot of the fans here have stuck around, even though Oklahoma's got a huge deficit.
10,713, largest crowd in the history of Oklahoma women's basketball. The steal by UConn. The mugging and no call. When in doubt, we'll just call it a joke.
Bill, you need to be out there in stripes. That was a nice call.
Oh, it's easy over here, isn't it? Especially when it's a 16-point game.
I think I'm sweating as much as the officials are.
Yeah, warm night here with the big crowd in here and after an unseasonably warm day in Norman. Ralph with 18 points to lead UConn. Dales and Whaley 19 each to pace the Sooners as they'll get one more opportunity with 10 seconds to go and Dales bringing it up. Whaley.
And that's the icing on the cake. Connecticut with a good job of defense, not allowing Oklahoma to get that last shot.
UConn with a win, 84-68 the final. Fox Sports News is coming up next as UConn an 84-68 winner. Hope you enjoyed the action here. Most of you will be seeing Fox Sports News prime time and Northwestern USC coming up following that. For Alyssa Walker, Campbell, and our entire crew, this is Bill Land saying so long for Norman. Once again, the final score, UConn 84, Oklahoma 68, as the Sooners drop to 9-3. UConn stays perfect at 9-0. The #1 ranked Huskies roll on here at the Lloyd Noble Center. 84-68 the final. So long, everybody.